On Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 timeout. We're going to discuss the Kolkata Knight Riders. They were on a high. They nearly got the job done against CSK, but for Ravindra Jadeja. But they've got a big game coming up against the Delhi Capitals. And we're going to figure with Aakash Chopra and Dale Steyn what they're going to do if Andre Russell does not feature in that 11. We thought we were seeing the best of Russell suddenly, Dale, in this second leg. He looked like he was bowling at full tilt. Some batting form seemed to come back. If they are without him, how do they cope?
Yeah, he was just starting to creep back into that kind of Andre Russell frame that we know him, and he was bowling close to 140 clicks and smart bowling too. See, when he bowled de Villiers the other day, that was clever thinking. We know that he's a clever cricketer, but you know that he's a better cricketer when he's fully fit. And unfortunately, watching him field the other night, something seemed to have gone in that hamstring or that knee. But with Andre Russell, you never know. He's the kind of guy that I've seen him fall and grimace when he was batting and still hitting the ball 110 meters out of the ground. So we are yet to tell whether he'll play or not, but he will be a major loss for KKR as they were building their way back into that top four. He is a major contributor in that team. So if he's out, that's a big loss for them.
You think that knee might just recover, seeing that it's at Sharjah, Akash, and not the bigger grounds. That being said, though, Sharjah is not the Sharjah we saw last season from the evidence of the first few games here.
See, that's the thing actually. When I think of Sharjah and think of the surface, who do they have to bring in if Andre is not available? I'll go with Shakib actually, and then you might realize that you aren't missing much for a simple reason that first two matches, the evidence suggests that first 10 overs is where you do the bulk of the scoring. In the back 10, you are actually just consolidating and you're getting to a total which gives you something to fight for. 150 on the board, that's a winning total on that surface. Teams have won scoring 125. So if you get Shakib Al Hasan, it gives you 4 overs of spin. Andre Russell is he's only one of its kind in the world, so you can't really have a replacement like a like for like replacement. But on a surface which is really slow in nature, you can actually make do with someone like Shakib Al Hasan and bowl a lot of spin in the back 10 as well.
One thing though on that, Akash, it seems like they would miss Russell, the bowler, more than the batter, especially given he was bowling a couple of overs at the death. If you play Shakib, does that give KKR a bit of a problem at the death then? Would you go with Prasidh Krishna after that last game, Lockie Ferguson? That seems like your only two options if you play another spinner in Shakib.
Well, Lockie is, in my opinion, at this point in time, in this IPL, is the best death bowler who's actually delivering every single time, and that's why I was shocked that Morgan chose to finish his 3 overs in the first 10 overs against CSK when he had 170 on the board. The game was not getting over in the first 10. He needed overs at the back end of Lockie, but he had none. He had Prasidh Krishna, he had Sunil Narayan, who chose to bowl the 20th, and Varun Chakravarti. See, on a surface like the Sharjah one, you can bowl a bit of spin and just look at who he'll be bowling to, the spinners, for example. So not Shakib, but maybe a Sunil Narayan or a Varun Chakravarti. I know it's not ideal to get your 18, 19, 20th over 20th, of course, not by a spinner. But till the 16th, 17th, you can toy with the idea of bowling with spin because he might end up bowling to either a Sam Billings, there is no Stoinis. Even if there is Stoinis, you will spin to him. Or there is Chimran Hetmyer, take the ball away on a turning pitch. Anything can happen. So yes, we are trying to we are clutching at straws. If there is no Russell, what do you do? What's your best option? Either pen cutting, Shakib, or Pawan Negi. I'll go with Shakib and take my chances.
Yeah, I was just going to go to the other overseas option. You think Ben Cutting, when he was bought by KKR, Dale was bought as the potential like for like similar sort of role. Would he be a tempting option given Shakib and three left-handers in Delhi's top six? Would you want to go that way at all?
I think the conditions play a major factor, and Sharjah is not that pitch and that kind of feel that we felt from last year where the ball is flying out of the ground. Sure, Jason Holder had got hold of a couple the other night, but he's one of very few. It's been very difficult for the batters to get going. So whether you're bringing Shakib to bowl spin, it's going to be slow, it's going to be difficult, or Ben Cutting, who's in a run-in, is going to bowl these change-ups and his slower kind of deliveries and then try and smack some at the end. It's a lot easier to have a change in a slower, difficult pitch. If they were playing in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, it would be a a little bit more of a headache for them as to who they would want to play. This ground in particular, I don't think it really matters much. It just makes up their matchup as to who they want to have at the death and how they want to kind of construct their innings. But this pitch at Sharjah, I mean, you could literally have anybody bowl that's got good skill, and these guys have all got good skill. They'll do well enough there.
All right, let's see how things go and what's an afternoon fixture in Sharjah, and we'll see if KKR do indeed have to cope without Andre Russell. Thank you very much, Dale Steyn and Aakash Chopra. This was Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout.
We call it people technology.